Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from. The county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga today issued a statement on the Kenya oil deal.
Only the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum signed a deal with the state-owned petroleum companies in the Middle East. Why Ruto chose to characterize the deal as a G2G is the first red flag that points to mischief in this deal. We now know that the characterization of this deal as a G2G was meant to shield the three Kenyan companies from paying the 30% corporate tax. I will return to this matter later.
That statement by Raila Odinga has actually shocked the entire country.
The government must make public the so-called MOU between Kenya and Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates.
And it's going to have serious political implication on Kenya Kwanza moving forward. But personally, I strongly believe that Raila Odinga committed two mistakes when he released that statement, and I'm going to explain those two mistakes. Let me just take you through some part of that statement because it's a very long statement. I'm going to go just through some very interesting parts, okay? Let me read for you what Raila Odinga posted. You will recall that in April this year, His Excellency William Ruto announced to the country that his government had signed a government-to-government memorandum of understanding with Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates for supply of oil to Kenya on favorable terms. The first thing I noted is that for the first time, Raila Odinga is referring to Ruto as His Excellency William Ruto, and of course, he's also referring to his government. And he's continuing. Ruto told the country that some foremen in his administration had put together something phenomenal in the country. His words were, and he's quoting Ruto, they have managed to put together a program that has taken us away from looking for $500 million every month to buy our fuel needs, which was slowly snowballing into a crisis. Today, we can buy fuel in Kenya shillings, something many people never thought would be possible. In fact, in the next 1 month or so, you will see the exchange rate coming down to a very phenomenal way, in a very phenomenal way. In my estimations, in the next couple of months, the exchange rate will come below 120 and maybe 115. You never know. Now, that is what William Ruto was quoted to have said. You know, William Ruto is good at lying. And he was lying to Kenyans. And this is what Raila Odinga exposed about him in this statement. Because in this statement, I don't want to really focus on the statement. In this statement, I'm going to give you the political implications. Now, these are some of the things Raila Odinga pointed out in this in William Ruto's deal, that there was no government to government. Kenya did not sign any contract with Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates. So basically, Raila Odinga is telling Kenyans that what these guys entered into is probably the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kenya, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and some oil marketing companies in that country. There was no government-to-government deals. Raila Odinga is a former Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. If Raila Odinga tells you that your wife is pregnant, ladies and gentlemen, just go and start buying diapers. If you are to choose truth between Ruto and Raila, I would go with Raila Odinga 100 times. So there was no government-to-government deals here. And Raila Odinga is saying, number two, that the cost of oil has not come down since the deal was signed. Remember, William Ruto told Kenyans that he was entering into that deal to contain the cost of fuel. From that time up to now, the cost of fuel has continued going up, even despite the fact that internationally, the prices are coming down. And the third thing he's saying here, which is very important, that the shilling has continued to fall against the dollar. When William Ruto entered into this deal, what he told the Kenyans was that it was they were now going to use Kenya shillings to buy oil, to buy fuel. And Kenyans were like, it had never happened. And in fact, I remember Raila Odinga asking at that particular time, what would the United Arab Emirates or Saudi Arabia do with Kenyan shillings? But he convinced Kenyans. So far, nothing has happened there. Number 3, which is also very important, the shilling has continued to fall, okay? The scarcity of the dollar has continued. So if William Ruto wanted to release pressure on the dollar by using Kenya shillings, nothing has happened. In fact, today, according to this Raila Odinga statement, the dollar is at 159, and he's also saying that the landlocked countries that depend on us for oil are abandoning our pipeline because it has become too expensive, which is the truth. Uganda is leaving, Tanzania has also left, so which means Kenya sasa tumebaki Kenyans alone because of the middlemen. And Raila Odinga revealed some very important thing during some very important details during that press statement. That, okay, of course, there was no government to government. So I'm waiting to see how Kenya Kwanza government will respond to Raila Odinga's statement. Raila Odinga is also saying that there's a clique that inflated the cost of fuel by 30 bob. Remember, when William Ruto took over government, the first thing he did was to remove the subsidies. Subsidies was around 20 bob by that time. So why would William Ruto remove subsidies, then pass that to Kenyans, and then some individuals somewhere are getting 30 bob at the expense of Kenyans? And Raila Odinga also revealed that in this deal, there are 3 local companies who are tasked with distribution. That is the Gulf Energy, the Galana Oil Kenya Limited, and Oryx Energy. So probably Raila Odinga has left you with an assignment of going and digging who are behind those 3 companies. And Raila Odinga is also revealing that there are also middlemen somewhere who have also inflated the price by 59%. And that's why Museveni left the deal. In fact, Museveni was very clear that they didn't want to continue dealing with the government, with middlemen, because they thought they were dealing with the government. So which means there are certain middlemen here. Who are they working for? But I don't want to get into these details so much, because Raila Odinga also went further and issued some demands which he wants to be met, and those demands are actually 10. Let me just read for you 1 or 2. That Ruto must immediately cancel the contract and revert to the open tender system, which ensured guaranteed supply of petroleum product. So I think that's what most people have been advising Ruto. So let us wait and see what Ruto will do. And he's also saying that the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission needs to move in, not to sanitize, but to get to the Raila Odinga is now also not serious. You know, the EACC cannot do anything in this matter.
3, the men and women who came up with this self-serving deal must be surcharged and sacked. 4, the government must restore taxes to 8% from the 16% that came with the Finance Act.
That the men and women who came up with this self-serving deal must be surcharged and sacked. These guys were working for Ruto. How do you expect Ruto to surcharge them? How do you expect Ruto to to punish them? If Wafula Chebukati is a hero in the face of William Ruto, a man who presided over 2 elections, one leading to the death of his own ICT officer, did nothing about it, you know. So he's also issuing some 10 demands, which I don't want to get in. So you can actually watch the statement by Raila Odinga on his Facebook page or Azimio TV, or maybe you can read the statement on his page. But what are the political implications of Raila Odinga's statement? Because for us, what we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So the best thing you can do, by the way, if you are watching this video right now, please just click that subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. And in case you are already subscribed, ladies and gentlemen, I want to request you to just give this video a thumbs up, and you can also share and comment. Ladies and gentlemen, what are some of the political implications of Raila Odinga's statement today? If you ask me, number 1, and this is going to be serious, the bipartisan talks. It's clear that Raila Odinga is now coming out again to start checking on the government. I'm not sure whether William Ruto is going to agree with what Raila Odinga is saying and is going to compromise the outcome of the bipartisan talks. In fact, my understanding or what I'm thinking is that maybe Raila Odinga has figured out that there is nothing much which is going to come out of that bipartisan talks. So this could be a strategy to, because Raila is issuing some demands on the bipartisan talks that they must talk about the cost of living. The cost of fuel is directly affecting the cost of living. As long as the cost of fuel is up there is no way the cost of living will come down. So in my view, it's all about bipartisan talks. The bipartisan talks is going to collapse. That is number one. Number two, and I think this is also very strategic for Raila Odinga and Azimio. Raila Odinga and Azimio are trying to push Kenya Kwanza to their defense so that they are not the ones doing catch up. So they've now released their statement. The next statement we are expecting is from the 3 oil companies. The next statement we'll be expecting is from the 4 individuals we have referred to. Then the next statement we are expecting is for the government of Kenya to release the details of the contract, which Raila Odinga is also asking here. And the other statement we are expecting is, for example, on the other side, which companies are involved. Would they want to clear their names? So Kenya Kwanza are going to move left, right, and center. They are going to convene press conferences to try and defend Kenya Kwanza government. I'm not so sure why so far they've not really issued a statement. Maybe they are still studying Raila Odinga's statement. Number 3, I also tend to think, number 3, this is also Raila Odinga's strategy to blame Kenya Kwanza for the high cost of living. High cost of living is directly proportional to the fuel. So if the fuel were down, the cost of living would be a bit relaxed. But now we are talking of fuel, some individuals pocketing money meant for Kenyans, some individuals inflating the prices. So in my view, I'm 100% sure that the cost of living is going to form Raila Odinga's agenda. One thing I want to appeal to Raila Odinga, and ladies and gentlemen, you can make your voice be heard on this by posting it on your TVs. On your Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, and even dropping your comments here. Raila Odinga should not call for a demonstration over the cost of fuel. He should not. He should not do that for me. Maybe you'll need me to explain why, but I think it will be a big mistake for Raila Odinga to call on his supporters to go to the street over the high cost of fuel. Let everybody feel it the way they are feeling it. And number 4, I'm also convinced that Raila Odinga is trying to bring the corruption aspect of Kenya Kwanza to Kenyans. That Kenya Kwanza is all about individuals. It's all about making money. It's all about cutting deals. So let us wait and see. I'm sure that Raila Odinga didn't give Kenyans the entire document, just a portion of it. Maybe in the next statement, he will now start maybe in the next statement, Raila Odinga will now start focusing on specific aspect of the deal. If it was about G2G, what is in there? If it's about the 30 bob, which is going to specific individuals, what is there? If it's about the inflation, if it's about the middlemen, who are these middlemen? I'm 100% sure Raila Odinga is going to ensure that the aspect of corruption comes out, and therefore Kenyans will directly blame Kenya Kwanza. And lastly, this is also Raila Odinga's strategy to pile pressure on Kenya Kwanza. But for me, Raila Odinga committed 2 mistakes. The first mistake is that in this statement, Raila Odinga ought to have demanded for William Ruto's resignation. He's asking the advisors to resign. Why the advisors? The person to resign, and of course cannot resign, is William Ruto. The second mistake Raila Odinga did, in my view, was this statement.
Pili, huyo mama mafuta huyo mama mamona na unajua biashara ya mafuta, unajua gharama yake, pesa ambayo inatakikana ufanye biashara ya mafuta bilioni 17. Angalia sura yake kama yeye au anawakilisha watu wengine. Sasa wale ambao wanawakilisha ndio tunataka kujua, maana yake mingi ni kama sarakasi.
Maybe we'll need a different video to explain how that Raila Odinga on that lady is a mistake. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye bye.